Imagine for a moment that you decided to sleep with the lights on. Not a soft, warm bedside lamp, but a harsh, bright white fluorescent tube shining directly into your eyes for 8 hours straight. You would wake up exhausted, with your eyes straining and your brain overstimulated. You would never do that to your vision. But what if I told you that you might be doing exactly that to your ears every single night? Millions of us have turned to white noise machines or apps to help us sleep. We treat them as a sanctuary, a way to block out the snoring spouse, the city traffic, or the ringing in our own ears. It feels like a healthy, protective habit. But new research in audiology suggests a shocking paradox. For women over 60, standard white noise might actually be exhausting your auditory system, accelerating hearing loss, and stressing your brain when it should be resting. The sound you are using to protect your sleep might be slowly damaging your hearing, but the solution isn't silence, it is simply changing the color of the sound. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and I am here to help you navigate the surprising science of your body with warmth and clarity. We often think of health as diet and exercise, but our sensory health, how we hear and perceive the world, is vital for our independence. Before we tune into the science, I have a quick question for our community. Tell me in the comments, what is your sleep environment like? Do you need absolute silence, or do you need a fan, a hum, or a machine to drift off? I love reading about your routines, and if you are ready to protect your senses for the long haul, please click that subscribe button so we can learn together. Let's talk about that little machine on your nightstand. For many of us, it is a lifeline. You toss and turn, your mind is racing with tomorrow's to-do list, or perhaps you are dealing with that frustrating age-related sleep fragmentation where you wake up at 3 a.m. You turn on the white noise, and that steady shh acts like a blanket. It masks the sudden creaks of the house and smooths out the world. But here's the healthy habit trap. We assume that because the sound is steady, our brain ignores it. We think our ears turn off. But anatomically, your ears never close. Your eyelids close, your ear canals do not. Your auditory system is an always-on sentry, processing every single vibration that hits your eardrum, even while you are in deep REM sleep. And when that vibration is specifically white noise, you are asking your ears to do something incredibly difficult. To understand why, we have to decode what white noise actually is. We use the term loosely to mean any background sound, but in physics and audiology, white noise is very specific. Think of a piano. You have low keys on the left, the deep rumbles, and high keys on the right, the sharp, tinny notes. True white noise is what happens if you smashed every single key on that piano at the exact same volume at the exact same time. It is a wall of sound that contains every frequency the human ear can hear, low, medium, and high, all at equal intensity. This is why I used the bright light analogy earlier. Just as white light contains all the colors of the rainbow, white noise contains all the pitches of the spectrum. The problem is those high pitches. High-frequency sounds are energetic, intense, and stimulating. They are the screechy parts of the spectrum. When you play true white noise, you're blasting your ears with these aggressive high frequencies all night long. It is akin to staring at a bright LED bulb. Your brain's auditory cortex, the processing center, stays in a state of high alert because it is being bombarded with high-energy input. So while you might feel like you are sleeping, a part of your brain is running a marathon. But for women our age, this isn't just about brain fatigue. It is about physical damage to the ear itself. And while switching off the machine seems like the obvious answer, there is a specific biological reason why that might not work for you, and a much better alternative that we will discuss in just a moment. To understand the danger, we have to look inside the inner ear, at the cochlea. Deep inside your ear, you have thousands of tiny, microscopic hair cells. Think of them like a lush green field of delicate grass or the pile of a beautiful velvet carpet. These hair cells are responsible for catching sound waves and sending signals to the brain. When we are young, this field of grass is thick and resilient, but as we age, specifically after 60, this grass naturally starts to thin out. This is normal. It is why we might struggle to hear a conversation in a crowded restaurant. The first hair cells to wear out and die off are almost always the ones that pick up high frequencies. These are the most fragile cells in your body. Now, think about your white noise machine again. Remember, white noise is packed with those aggressive high frequencies. When you sleep with that static hiss for 8 hours a night, every night, year after year, you are essentially taking a heavy boot and stomping on that delicate aging grass. You are overworking the specific cells that are already struggling to survive. You are accelerating the natural wear and tear of the ear. It is a cumulative stress. You won't wake up deaf tomorrow, but over 5 years of nightly use, you may notice that crispness of speech disappearing faster than it would have otherwise. I want to pause here and mention something that I know affects so many women in our community. I'm talking about tinnitus, that ringing, buzzing, or hissing in the ears. Here's a fact that might surprise you, and I'd love to see a show of hands in the comments. How many of you use background sound specifically to drown out the ringing in your ears? It is the most common coping mechanism, and it makes sense. Silence makes the ringing louder, so you turn on the white noise to mask it. This is where the comment magnet comes in. Did you know that for some people, white noise can actually make tinnitus worse over time? It's a phenomenon called reactive tinnitus. Because white noise stimulates the auditory cortex so aggressively, the brain can actually turn up the volume on the internal ringing in response to the external chaos. It's a vicious cycle that very few doctors explain. It's a wait, really moment for so many of my patients. So we have a dilemma. You need sound to sleep and to mask the ringing, but the white noise is hurting your hair cells and stressing your brain. Do you have to suffer in silence? Absolutely not. You just need to change the color of the noise. Just as light has colors, sound has colors, and the healing spectrum for the aging ear lies in the deeper, warmer hues, pink noise and brown noise. Let's visualize this. If white noise is a harsh, static hiss, like a radio off station, pink noise is the sound of steady, heavy rain falling on pavement. Here's the science. In pink noise, the volume of the high frequencies is turned down. Every time the pitch goes up an octave, the volume drops. This creates a sound that is balanced. It removes that screechy bite. It is softer, deeper, and much more soothing to the brain. Studies show that pink noise can actually synchronize with your brainwaves to improve slow-wave sleep. That is the deep, restorative sleep where memory consolidation happens. But if you really want to treat your ears to a spa day, I want to introduce you to my personal favorite, brown noise, sometimes called red noise. If pink noise is rain, brown noise is the low, distant rumble of a massive river, or the sound of a strong wind blowing through a dense forest, or the deep hum of an airplane cabin. It has almost no high frequencies at all. It is all bass and depth. For women over 60, brown noise is a miracle. It provides that sound blanket to mask the background and the tinnitus, but it does so without the high-pitch aggression. It feels physical. It feels like a warm hug for your nervous system. It creates a masking effect that is grounding rather than stimulating. It allows those fragile, high-frequency hair cells in your ear to actually rest and recover during the night. I have had patients who switched from white to brown noise and told me that for the first time in years, they woke up feeling like their brain was truly quiet. However, even if you switch to the perfect brown noise river sound, you can still cause damage if you get one specific setting wrong. And this is the most common mistake I see seniors make. We need to talk about volume control. As we age and our hearing dips slightly, there's a temptation to turn the volume up. If you are using the machine to block out a snoring partner or tinnitus, the instinct is to drown it out. You crank the dial until the unwanted sound is gone. This is dangerous. Sleeping with any sound, even safe brown noise, at a volume louder than 60 or 70 decibels is harmful over long periods. It triggers a stress response in the body. It raises cortisol. Your heart rate doesn't drop as low as it should. So what is the safe zone? You want to aim for about 45 to 50 decibels. I know, we don't have decibel meters in our heads, so here is the conversation test. Set your sound machine to the volume you usually use. Now, imagine someone is standing in the doorway of your bedroom, speaking in a normal, soft voice. Would you be able to hear them and understand the words over the noise of the machine? If the answer is no, your machine is too loud. The goal of a sleep sound is not to obliterate the world, it is to blur the edges. It should be a background texture, not a foreground wall. If you have tinnitus, the goal is sound enrichment, not total masking. You want the sound to mix with the ringing so your brain stops focusing on it, not to overpower it completely. This brings us to your new nightly routine. I want you to feel empowered to make this change tonight. You don't need to buy a new expensive machine. Most apps and machines today have settings for rain, thunder, ocean, or specifically brown noise. Tonight, when you get ready for bed, I want you to resist the static or white noise setting. Scroll past it. Look for the deeper sounds. Look for heavy rain or deep fan. Listen to it for a moment. Does it feel sharp or does it feel round? Does it feel like it's hitting your face or does it feel like it's surrounding you? You want the surround sound. Set the volume lower than you think you need. Remember, your house gets quieter as the night goes on. What sounds quiet at 10 p.m. will sound loud at 2 a.m. By making this simple switch from the harsh, bright white noise to the deep, nourishing brown noise, you are doing something profound for your longevity. You are protecting the microscopic connection between your world and your brain. You are ensuring that you can keep hearing the laughter of your grandchildren, the birds in the garden, and your favorite music for years to come. You are not just sleeping, you are healing. I challenge you to try the brown noise experiment for 3 nights, just 3 nights. Then come back to this video and tell me if your sleep felt deeper. Tell me if your ears felt less tired in the morning. Your health is in the details, and you have the power to tweak those details. Thank you so much for trusting me with your time today. If you found this helpful, please share it with a friend who complains about poor sleep. You might just solve a mystery for them. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, wishing you sweet, safe dreams. I'll see you in the next video.